Welcome to Flash Basics Tutorial 13, Tweening Animation. I have the CS5 program opened and I'm going to open a new FLA. Keeping the action script default, change the width of the stage to 700, the height to 550, and let's give ourselves a black background to make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to put the stage down to 50%. We're going to start off layer 1. I'm just going to call it C for Classic Tween, CLST, Classic Tween. We're going to pick up the rectangle tool. I'm using whatever stroke and fill I have, and I'm going to put a rectangle there. This is a basic tween. Come up to about frame 30, insert a keyframe. That brings all this up all the way to that frame. Now get your selection tool, try to keep it relatively, it doesn't matter, but try to keep it relatively straight. Bring it across your stage like that. Go back to frame 1. I think actually anywhere in here you can click, right click, create classic tween. And that's what we did. Just moves across the stage. No programming, and it's quite quick and simple. Insert a new layer. Make sure that layer was selected. This is another classic tween. CLST2. Give it a second name. And I'm going to use the same color, and I'm going to use the same sort of rectangle tool. But this time, when we come up here, click on frame 2, draw it all the way up, right click, remove frames, select this last frame, right click, insert keyframe. With your selection tool, drag it up where the other one is, go to frame 1, right click classic tween, and we have the same thing. While we're on this last frame, pick up your free transform tool, get the squares around it, hold your shift down, go in the corner till you get the straight lines, arrow, make it bigger, and now see what we have. Changes its size. Lock those two layers, insert a new layer. This one's going to be called SH as in shape tween. Select frame 1. We're going to pick a different color to keep track here. I'm going to pick a yellow, and I'm going again with the square. Select frame 2, hold your button down, go all the way up, remove these frames. Last frame here, insert a keyframe. Pick up your selection tool again, drag this over to the end. Now both the fill and the stroke are little dots on them. Click off to the side, just click the center, come over here, change your color. I got it back to a pink, back to frame 1 on your timeline, right click, shape tween. This time shape tween. Now as we pan across, it changes colors. Nifty little trick. All layers are locked. Select another layer, another SH tween, shift tween 2. Select frame 1. This time we're going to make another rectangle. Here, here's the rectangle. Again, remove those frames. Insert a keyframe at the very end. With your selection tool, drag this up here. Click click off to the side, click the center, change the color to yellow, and pick up your free transform tool and change the size. So we change the size and the color this time. Go back to frame 1, right click, shape tween, pan that across. Size and color changes. Lock all layers. Select a new layer. Call this SH tween 3, shape tween 3. Select frame 1. And this time I want to go with a rectangle. Select your rectangle tool. Make a rectangle. Now, go to do the same thing here. And you may not have to do this. There may be another way, but that's the way I have to do it. Remove these frames. We're going to insert a blank keyframe this time. Insert blank keyframe. So we're not bringing that rectangle to this last frame. Go to your rectangle tool, click that corner, polystar. Open that up. Open up your properties panel. You got this polystar tool. Options. This panel comes up. I want it to be a star with 5 sides, 0.5 points. Close that off, and now hold your shift down and make a star. There it is. It's a star. Go back to frame 1 on your timeline, right click, shape tween, and it turned into a star. Lock all layers, go back to frame 1, insert a layer, call it Classic Tween, CLT3, Classic Tween. Select frame 1, go back, pick up your oval tool, let's give it a red fill, and down here in the corner, hold the shift down, make a ball. With your selection tool, highlight it. Now come up here to modify. Click on it, convert to a symbol. Click on it, and under this drop down menu, select graphic. Up here where it says symbol, write BALL, capital B underscore GRP for graphic. Okay, you notice that little center comes in there. That's very important. Again, click on this second frame, remove those frames, click on the last frame, insert a keyframe, and let's move this with our selection tool. Let's just move this up to the other corner for a minute. Go back to frame 1, right click, Classic Tween, and let's just see that ball moves. That's good. Now, lock that layer. No. Insert another layer directly above that. Call this one Guide, G-U-I-D-E. Lock all the layers except the guide layer. Frame 1 selected. Pick up your pencil and approximately the center of that ball, just draw a line. Just make sure you don't cross over, and try to stop where you think that ball was, somewhere around here. Now it's got to be done all in one motion. If you stopped it and broke the line, erase it, remove it, and start over. So I got one full line. Lock that layer, unlock the layer that has the ball on it, which is this layer here. On frame 1, there's my ball. Now let's zoom in on this. I'm going to go to 100. And you can see this cross here. So what the best practice is to take it right off the line and then ease it onto the line and be like a couple of millimeters from the end. there on that frame. Go up to the last frame of the ball, and we know that's way over in this corner somewhere, this upper corner. Again, even if it's on the line, take it off the line, the crosshairs, and bring them down a couple centimeters. I find from the end is good, not to be too fussy. Now, watch what happens when we pan. Oh, nothing happened. We got to now double click on this guide layer. It opens, make it a guide. See right here, guide. And when you do, watch up here per guide, it becomes a little hammer. It says it's a guide layer now. Go to the layer underneath it, the one that has the ball in it. Click on it and drag and pull it to the right. And that little ball, drag it to the right, leave it go, and then indents, and see those dots? If you got those, now the guide is working. And watch that ball follows the line. Very good tool. So let's test this movie out. And we have all kinds of tweens. If this is the first time you've done this, this is really exciting. It's a really good tool, and all kinds of ideas go through your head. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.